Welcome, colleagues, to the next summer rerun of We Want to Believe. Today we are playing episode 55, which was called Chicago, because we go to Chicago. This is when me and Helen went to the Drake Hotel to stay in the second most haunted hotel in Chicago. We talked to the bartender about if he saw anything spooky. We do something sort of absurd to make sure nothing can get into the closet. And you also hear me swearing at traffic and doing something stupid where, what did I do? I didn't lock the keys in the car. I don't know. I did something dumb where I had to walk back to the car, and I'm talking about it, and I don't know. You'll find out. You're about to listen to it. Anyway, on with the episode.
I'm Helen.
And I'm Liz.
And we're sisters,
Scientists.
and lifelong X-Files fans.
And this is We Want to Believe.
We're recording?
We're recording. We are in Chicago, pulling up to the Drake Hotel on the lakeshore.
Going to not get haunted.
Or will we? So Helen just asked me, what are the stories with the Drake? And I thought I'd answer this while we were recording, and also while I'm looking for parking. So I don't know about that. But, okay, there's two women.
Okay. Okay. I feel like women, that's less scary than both men and poltergeists.
Are poltergeists like gender neutral?
I assumed so.
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah. I thought you were going to say then or children, but I would agree with
yeah.
that.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
God, yes.
So there's the lady in red.
Okay.
Who I just want to say is dancing with me, like the song. That is all I can think about. And then there's the lady in black. So they are clothing-based ghosts.
Okay.
And I cannot remember the details. One of them died there and wanders the halls.
Okay.
And I'm pretty sure that's what the other one does as well, but like a variation on that. So they're a spooky, dead, wandery lady type of ghost.
Okay.
Yeah,
all right.
We are not going to the hotel we mentioned a few episodes ago, the Congress Plaza Hotel, because we decided we don't want to stay at a place where my friend Julie said she'd never go back because it was so terrifying.
Yeah, so terrifying, and also it looked kind of shitty, right?
It didn't, I mean, not shitty, but not as nice as I wanted it to, but I do sometimes fear I've gotten a little too bougie. Like, I find myself, the voice in which I say 4-star hotel has changed. I no longer go, it's a 4-star hotel. I go, it's a 4-star. So, like...
What is the Drake?
It's a 4-star.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, she was that terrified.
Yeah, she said she would never go back. That she could feel a spirit and yeah, and to recall this for our reader, not our readers, our listeners, that she had a dream where she was throwing watermelons out the window, but it was super disturbing, and then found out that a woman threw her children out the window and then jumped in that hotel.
Yeah, and I vetoed that on psychological grounds.
Fair.
And also I feel like I would rather be haunted by the ghost of a victim than the ghost of a murder.
Oh, that's a really good call.
Yeah, like I feel like much less frightened by being haunted by someone who was murdered versus someone who has murdered.
Oh, that's a really good call. Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like there's a very different energy there.
Definitely. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I am at, 4:13 p.m. in broad daylight in Chicago. I am very much convinced that nothing's going to happen. I have zero concerns.
Yes.
But I highly suspect that I'll change my tune once it's time to actually go to bed.
Yes, same. Ditto. Like, I was going to say, I feel right now like staying at the Congress wouldn't freak me out too badly. But I don't... do I turn left? It's okay. Our listeners can listen to me drive. What do you guys think? No,
Please don't wait for an answer. Yes, you turn left here,
okay,
I believe.
So they were wrong about what lane I should have been in.
Oh.
Those fuckers. hours. Okay, so I gotta turn left on the lake shore. I'm so sorry. Thank you. Thank you. I hope you can hear the city sounds that make it like, oh, you motherfucker. Okay. Yeah, I take back my thank you. Come on, you motherfucker. Okay.
I'm just gonna pause it.
All right. Okay, well, we're parked now, and I did not drive us into traffic.
Hooray.
And we are parked in front of the Drake, and we're watching this other couple, and we're not a couple.
We're a couple of people.
We are a couple of people. We're watching there's two people in front of us who just parked, trying to figure out if they're going to come back to their car or not using the parking thingy. The, like, pay-as-you-go thing. And they seem to be moving on, and I don't think she put anything in the car. So maybe we'll pay.
Yeah.
We've seen a lot of excellent dogs so far. We just saw an old
yes.
English sheepdog. There's some sort of dachshund mix across the street sniffing flowers right now.
Real low to the ground.
Real low to the ground. Oh, full of joie de vivre. Wants to get to the flowers. Oh, there's two other small dogs who are pretty happy. Yeah. Lots of dogs. Lots of traffic. It took us how long to get here?
Oh,
Jesus.
wild.
Hours and hours. Hours and hours and hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Too long.
Too long. Maybe we can get out of the car now.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true.
All right.
We're maybe gonna drop our stuff and shop a little bit.
Yeah, we're
around?
extremely close to Water Tower Place.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's go see the city.
Yeah.
And Helen, I'll tell you this now while recording to get
what?
your reaction. Oh no, it's nothing scary.
Oh.
Well, it might be scary to you. I think we should talk to an employee and ask if they've seen anything spooky and ask if we can record anything, even though it'll be really awkward. You can hide.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. Deal.
All right. So, ooh, you could like record from your hiding spot, and I could. All right. All right. We're gonna go pay for parking. Well, everyone, Helen and I have arrived at the hotel. We got into the hotel. I said, we realized we were parked somewhere temporary. We decided to move it to the valet parking. I got all the way down to the car again while Helen stayed in the room. Left my keys in the hotel room, so I had to go back and get them. And Helen had to meet me, went to the wrong spot. Anyway, I'm real hungry. And I think that's about all for now. I gotta go move the car. All right, we're back in the hotel room. We've had a snack.
Yes. And it's a nice hotel. I'll say that.
It is a really fancy lobby.
It also seems like, I mean, I've been in very nice hotels where if someone told me they were haunted, I'd be like, yeah, uh-huh. But if someone told me this place was haunted, I'd be like,
Yeah, it has a haunted vibe. It does.
It's very like old money.
Yeah,
You know, it's
yeah.
very like brass and chandeliers and a harp and like
There's like a tea room. When I was pulling up for the valet parking, the guy was like, "Oh, are you here for afternoon tea?" So I felt good about my dress.
Yes. No, we're here for afternoon French fries and crudité.
Yes.
And HGTV.
I will say this: the Drake Hotel, your French fries for room service are too limp. I need a crispier potato.
Yeah, I'm pretty pleased. I'm mostly happy about the saltiness of them, though.
I was disappointed.
Yeah, man.
Anyway, so, take a moment, listeners, and imagine what we paid for valet parking overnight here. Just picture it. Give yourself a moment.
Very nice. By Water Tower Place, downtown Chicago, right on the lake.
I knew all these things. I was still surprised.
Yeah, for one night.
One night, $75.
Yeah.
My God.
For parking.
Yeah, for parking.
Yeah.
My God. My God.
Yeah. There's a surprising amount of people present. I will say, like, I feel slightly less creeped out because it's not, like, empty, you know?
No.
There's like, a lot of middle-aged couples.
There was the hotel that we stayed at in Whitby, England, which is, again, a big, old, grand hotel, but more has kind of gotten shabbier over the years, fallen on hard times. So it's this enormous building, but there's almost no one staying there.
Oh, gosh.
And one of I think it was Mom. She was like one of the only people total, not just in our group, on one floor.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I would not like that.
It was spooky.
Now, I don't know if you saw when you went downstairs to move the car that there is a sign by the elevator. Did you see that?
No.
There's a sign saying that late at night or early morning on Sunday, April 28th, so overnight
tomorrow,
tonight,
yeah.
that they'll be doing elevator maintenance, and so the elevators will be down. Which
no.
Yeah.
This is going to become important in the plot.
I know.
I know.
Yeah.
Okay. So, so I was doing a little bit of research on the Drake while we've been like eating and talking and watching HGTV. So first of all, it was opened in 1920. They had a big gala, their first opening night with all sorts of famous-ish people or whatever. The Lady in Red ghost is kind of a legend from that event where supposedly, and stories differ, she either saw her husband dancing with another woman or she went back to her hotel room and found him there with another woman and she just pitched herself out of the 10th story window and died and now she haunts it. But it's not like they don't have a specific name for her, like an actual person's name or whatever. So... there's, legend. I feel like that's like a lot of ghosts. I'm just going to check a name real quick. Don't look, Helen. Okay. So it's a surprise. Okay, there we go. Okay, so that's the Lady in Red. Okay. Lady in Black is the other ghost.
Right.
Adele... I just looked up her name. Adele Williams. I can't think of her middle name.
Okay.
I want to say Ben, but that seems unlikely. Adele something Williams. Okay. And this was a few decades later. And this is well documented. And she was murdered here.
Oh, no.
But the story goes, it's not her ghost who haunts the place.
Oh, no.
It's her murderers.
No.
Which we were just talking about.
Why?
So I guess... she was, so her and like her adult daughter, she was the wife of some famous, I think the word used was attaché, which I don't even know what that means if I'm being honest. I feel like it's a government-ish word.
I feel like it's a shop owner word.
See, I thought it was also a briefcase word. So an important man, okay? And she's his wife, and she's got, I guess they had like a suite here.
Okay.
And she goes back to the suite, and the door, she's with her adult daughter, goes back to the suite, the door is cracked open, and a woman in a black dress, black gloves, and a white wig with a pistol is inside and shoots both of them, and her daughter survives and she dies.
Whoa. Do they know who it was?
I don't think so, but I didn't finish reading the article.
Okay.
Hang on. No. Okay, I was almost at the end of the article. No, they do not know who it was. There was an intense 4-hour search and they never found the woman.
Whoa.
Yes.
So her daughter was able to give those details
because she survived.
Whoa. A white wig?
Yeah, isn't that weird?
Yeah.
And this was...
that somehow makes it less scary, although maybe I'll regret coming to that conclusion. I don't know. I don't even really think I believe in ghosts, but it's real spooky. And I keep thinking of, this is a very, the hotel has a very European vibe to it. And we actually have single beds.
Yes, we have two single beds in this hotel room, 2 twin beds.
Yeah. Which makes me think, did you ever see the old version of, oh my gosh, what was the name of that movie? Me and my friend Emily in grade school and middle school used to love this movie.
Hocus Pocus?
No, it was like legit scary. It was black and white.
Oh my God, the Haunting of Hill House.
Was it The Haunting of Hill? I don't think so.
Really? Or is it just The Haunting?
It might have just been The Haunting.
It's the one with they're holding hands.
That's exactly what I was going to say. Yes. So there's a scene where there's like a group of people staying, like to see if they can stay the night in this haunted mansion.
Yeah.
And the main character is sharing a room. I remember her friend's name is Teddy. Because what happens is, so they're like, have 2 small beds in a room.
Yeah.
And she wakes up in the middle of the night. I think it was just The Haunting. I think that sounds familiar. Okay. She wakes up in the middle of the night and hears like children crying or something. And she's like getting really creeped out. And she like reaches her hand out to hold her friend's hand. And she starts going, "Teddy, you're hurting me. Teddy." And like, because she was like, her friend was squeezing her hand so hard. And then suddenly the noise stops and she like opens her eyes or something, and she's way across the room on like a chaise lounge.
Whoa.
And her friend was still in her bed. So they were not right next to each other anymore.
Oh, so like who was holding her hand?
Right.
Oh.
And hurting her. Yeah. And I just keep thinking of that.
Maybe it's the quaddie.
Maybe it is. Yeah, we have a quaddie with us.
Yeah, we did.
A fake one.
Yeah. We brought a plush quaddie with us.
Yeah.
As you do.
Yeah. So yeah, maybe the quaddie is a guardian of sorts.
They are kind of nocturnal. I mean, like, they they keep odd hours. He'll be awake. He'll, he'll let us know.
I'm imagining, like, we'll wake up and be like, oh my god, I hear a noise, and be all freaked out, and then we'll see, like, a little quaddie head.
Oh my god. That would be sort of... No,
that would...
I don't like it. I like the quaddie, but I don't want it to come to life.
No. I was imagining
pretty stationary.
Maybe like an actual quaddie somehow got in. Oh. Like maybe it like literally came to life.
Oh, no, but again, isn't that sort of terrifying?
Yes. Yeah.
We did have a few different questions solicited from people to discuss.
Oh, did we?
Yeah, and I thought like maybe we could talk about one of them now and then take a break. The question was, if we were to have a ghostly encounter with a ghost, is there a particular ghost, like, of someone famous or somebody that we'd like to encounter?
Oh, so, like, not in the hotel tonight,
no,
but just like,
in generally. Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That is a good question.
Yeah, I feel like...
I'm debating between, like, something that would be really cool versus, like, the least threatening person. Like, Betty White came to mind.
Oh, that'd be amazing.
I mean, she's pretty cool anyway.
That'd be amazing.
Yeah.
Because I was at first thinking, like, what's the least threatening? And I thought of kids. And then I was like,
nope,
not in this context.
No.
Yeah, I think... I mean, I'm not sure we could beat Betty White. That might be the ultimate answer.
Yeah. That would be amazing.
Wow.
I mean, I, like, obviously... I'd be scared, but if it was very clearly her...
Yeah, if there was some way that you knew that it was Betty White,
then, I mean, I don't know. That...
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure I can come up with a better answer off the top of my head.
Yeah.
What about, like, the ghost of someone who could, like, solve a mystery for you? Like...
Ooh. I don't have any mysteries that I think need solving in particular. Like, sure, the person whose body I found that I haven't been able who is it that's going to solve?
I was thinking, like, D.B. Cooper or something, but then it's like, I guess I guess we don't know that he's dead. And if he is, why would he tell us? Yeah.
And is it just some random ghost who's like, I'm D.B. Cooper?
Yeah, he could be lying. That's such a good point. Yeah.
We wouldn't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't think of anyone mysterious or historical people I think would just be too scary.
Really?
I think so.
Like, how historical? When does it get scary? Like Marilyn Monroe. Scary?
No.
Because she stayed here, by the way.
Oh, really?
Yep. Her and Joe DiMaggio carved their initials into the bar at the seafood restaurant that's attached to this hotel. Yep.
Oh my god, that's so cool.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah. Yeah, Princess Di has stayed here. Whoa. Queen Elizabeth II has stayed here. I didn't need to specify the second. I think we all knew it was not
well,
the
you know,
first.
Queen Elizabeth I was on my list of scary people that it would be scary to see in ghost form.
And QE2 would be a lot less scary to see in ghost form.
Yeah. I'd be, honestly, I feel like pretty underwhelmed.
How could you say? She might, I don't know. There was one other person, I can't think of who it was, somebody else famous that they listed who's been here. But yeah, Marilyn Monroe stayed here. So thoughts really on that? Cool. Marilyn Monroe's ghost? Scary?
No, I think I'd feel very cool.
Yeah, I feel like I'd be like, how can I help you? How can we do something awesome for you?
Yeah.
You've had a tough life. It's a lot of success, but a lot of difficulties. Let's go haunt the shit out of somebody you didn't like. What can I do to help?
I don't know.
But you feel like
Kennedys.
You feel like Queen Elizabeth the
first definitely
would be scary.
Yes, so somewhere between Queen Elizabeth I and Marilyn Monroe.
All right.
In that narrow window.
The problem is I'm thinking of people that don't speak modern English. And so it'd be like, well, I could look at them and be like, maybe that's Cleopatra, but what's that going to do for me?
Yeah.
Because, like, I'd be interested in, like, historical mysteries, like, you know, I don't know.
Oh, sure.
What's the deal with the Minoans or something? But if I met a Minoan, I wouldn't know it.
Yeah.
Maybe I have. No.
Maybe you have.
A ghost of one.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean, I feel like you actually probably have to get a little bit past Queen Elizabeth I to be able to even really have an intelligible conversation with a ghost.
Oh.
Or, like,
Oh,
communicate.
past meaning more present.
Yes,
more,
get past, get further past
into
them.
the future.
Yeah.
Huh. I mean, I feel like once the hemlines shorten is when it gets less scary.
Oh, okay.
So, like...
Jane Austen?
Oh,
she's not real scary.
Yeah, I mean, I don't
especially want to meet her, but
right,
like,
and I don't think I'd like.
I don't think
I wouldn't
scared.
know her by sight. I'd be like, well, there's a ghost in a long dress.
Yeah, which would be scary.
Yes,
and maybe that's the point.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Whereas, like, I don't know, Janis Joplin would be.
Ooh,
scary.
That's somebody else who I'd want to be like, let's go find people who did you wrong and do terrible things to them.
Yeah, big time. What were some of the other questions?
I don't remember, but I will look them up. There was a question about vampires, but it was maybe just a suggestion to discuss them. So consider the prompt vampires and go.
Huh.
Yeah.
I thought of vampires, actually, when we entered the hotel. Because
did you?
I did, because of all the dragons.
Oh, that's right. That's what they also learned, is that the Drake... Okay, so it's named after the couple that financed it, by the way.
Oh, really?
Yeah, their last name was Drake. But Drake is like dragon.
Yeah.
So there's like dragon logos everywhere, which is awesome. But what makes me think of the historian.
Yes,
that
exactly.
Dragon in there. Yeah.
Yes, it made me think of the historian and vampires.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that would be an interesting turn of events.
Yeah, we were all on the lookout for ghosts, but ironically, it was the vampires that got us. Yeah. When the room service came, did you invite the guy in?
No, I didn't.
Oh, good, okay.
Yeah.
So if he was a vampire, he can't get us.
No, he can't.
Good work.
Thank you. Although, I mean, like, if he's been invited in... So that's a good question, though, right? Mm-hmm. Like, if a vampire has been invited in once, like, let's say those people move, can he get in that house again?
Oh, interesting. And then the opposite, if he can't, then does that imply it's about the people, and therefore if those people move at their next house, could the vampire just get right in?
Also a good point.
Because it seems like it would be one or the other, maybe.
Yes.
Or he has to be invited in every single time, and I don't think that's the case.
No, I don't think that's the case.
No.
Based on, how many times I've read the Sookie Stackhouse books, the Southern Vampire Mystery.
Yeah, I'm basing this off half a horror novel I read last summer, and then there was a dog in it, and I just couldn't take the risk of continuing reading it.
I read something recently, and I can't remember what it was, but I made a note in my head, okay, I'll have to tell Liz if she reads this. The dog's fine.
Oh, good.
But I can't remember what it was.
All right.
But because I think you worried for it.
Oh, I don't like it.
I remember, but I'm not going to spoil it in case people want to...
No, they can know the dog is fine.
Okay, Throne of Glass. The Throne of Glass series.
Oh, okay.
There is a dog that gets brought in at one point, and then the dog lives happily ever after.
Okay, that's all I want in a book, really.
Yeah. I
Page
mean,
1,
lots of other
dog
people
is
die.
Fine. Page 2, dog is fine. Yeah.
Do you remember any of the other questions?
I do not. My suggestion would be I can look them up, and we can see if anybody else has posted questions, and we can take a little break, and then we'll come back.
Cut that part out, Zach.
Yeah. All right, everybody. We are back from drinks and dinner and a failed attempt at a cupcake vending machine.
Yeah.
We are in the hotel room for the night.
Uh-huh. I am debating on whether I want to take no melatonin. I normally take some melatonin.
How many milligrams do you normally take?
5.
Okay, which is same.
Yeah. do I want to take none so that if I need to, I am able to be easily awoken in case of emergency? Although in case of emergency, the elevator doesn't work. So,
that's correct. It won't work starting at 1 a.m.
Right.
Oh, right. I got to work on the chair. We found that there's a closet, normal stuff. A little long, but normal stuff.
Yeah.
But there's a panel in the top of the closet that kind of looks like it might be like a access to a attic or something, or a storage, or a passage into other rooms. So,
or just kind of an old ceiling.
Yeah,
Tough
I mean,
call.
it's probably that. Yeah, or it's just like a little bit of storage right there. Yeah.
But we're going to put a chair
in
front of that.
Not because we're afraid now, but because we might be later. And then we won't have to move a chair when we're tired.
Yeah. Yeah, and so I don't know if I should take no melatonin or take like 7 milligrams.
Yeah. For what it's worth, I took melatonin right before Chris called me recently to say that Archer had been bit. Archer is doing well, everything's fine, but there was a emergency vet visit at like 11 p.m. after I had taken melatonin. I was a mess, but I was moving around and handling everything okay.
Okay.
It wasn't like I couldn't
function. Right, it's not like taking like a sleeping pill.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
In good news, we were at the bar earlier.
Yeah.
And the bartender was very nice and indulged our questions. And he said he knew like the origin story of the stuff.
Of the lady in red in particular he brought up.
Yeah, I wasn't even going to say that.
Oh. It's about 9:45 right now, by the way, p.m.
And said that he has never seen or heard anything.
Yeah, he said if he ever did, he's gone. He was like, that's it, I'm gone immediately.
Yeah, that was very reassuring. Unless he himself is a ghost.
He was a really normal bartender for a ghost, though.
And is that where they get you?
I mean, at that point, how do we know anyone's not a ghost? Well, let's not go down that
path.
No.
It's just like how in Arizona we
got afraid of Bigfoot, was it?
Or was it aliens or was it bears? I can't remember. But we talked ourselves into being afraid of something.
Yeah.
So
was that the same trip when I wrapped up in that blanket and called myself the larva queen?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it was.
All right. It was the larva queen vacation.
Yeah.
It was like a big peach blanket with kind of segmentation, if you will. Wait. What? Okay.
The TV just went from while we're sitting here talking, the TV went from being on stasis to back at the TV station, for lack of a better term. And it's
a review of some movie.
Yeah, some religious movie.
Also, when we turned on the TV on-demand options, there was a section called Recent Hits, which included such things as Pretty Woman, Dumb and Dumber, and The Shining.
Yeah,
I guess when you compare
stuff out in theaters,
when you compare it to the Founding of the Hotel.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
I think we're going to watch the Super Mario movie.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah,
that feels right.
And
read some books.
Yes. And maybe take some melatonin.
And maybe not. And we're definitely going to move a door. No. Move a chair in front of a door.
Yes.
Also, we went to a place called Bar Goa. It was Indian and hip.
Yeah.
And we ate delicious Indian appetizers and had a really good coconut cocktail.
Yes.
And it was incredibly expensive. And
more or less than valet parking.
More.
Quite a bit more. Yeah. Okay.
And then, we'd driven by a place on the way there called the Cupcake ATM. It was outside a cupcake place, so we went back there, but they were out, which does happen to ATMs at night sometimes. So.
Oh, really?
To money ones, yeah.
Oh.
Like in Florence, it happened a number of times to us.
Whoa,
they
weird.
get so many tourists, they run out of money by the end of the night. Yeah.
I guess I kind of imagined there was some sort of endless chute that went to the bank or something.
Yeah, no.
No, okay.
Apparently not.
Fair. Yeah. Well, we'll record more in the morning.
Yes, hopefully when it's light out and everything's normal and we're like, yep, we slept fine.
Yep.
And not, it's 2 a.m. and we're recording a scene from Blair Witch, essentially, except audio. Yeah. Oh, God, when I was at the emergency vet, actually, that night, I was with Chris, my friend, and who we share our dog with, and I didn't want to, I was really out of it because the melatonin.
Yeah.
I'm kind of contradicting my own story here. I was really out of it. And so Chris was like, there's a little bit of blood. I don't want you to look at it and pass out or something because he knows how I am. And he was like, just don't look. And I was like, okay, I'm just going to do this. And so I crouched down in a ball in the corner, facing the corner, even when the vet was in there. And I was explaining to Chris that I felt like I was in the Blair Witch Project. Yeah. And I was very out of it, but I also started by saying, I'm like in the Ring. And then was like, oh, God. Wait, no, that's not right. So take that as you will.
Yeah.
About the melatonin.
Huh.
Yeah.
All right.
I drove there, which was not great.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't think that's more or less of an endorsement for the...
No, I mean, I was able to. It sucked.
Yeah.
But again, dog is good. Dog is fine. Dog is living his best three-legged life.
Aw.
Yes.
Archie.
So...
At some point, we're going to have to go to bed.
And we're going to figure out a way with an office chair to block the door so that, so that we can relax.
Yes.
There we go.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
We'll keep you posted.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.
We are in the car. We have survived. It's noon on Sunday.
Yep.
No ghosts.
No ghosts.
No ghosts.
We did not sleep well.
No, we did not sleep well.
Did I explain about the closet when we were recording last night?
You did.
I think I did.
Yes.
Yeah. So it took a bit, but I'm a problem solver, and because we had a office chair that was too tall to fit under the doorknob so that we could lock the closet thingy. Because I did push up on that ceiling panel and it pushed up.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, there's a space up there. I don't know how far it went. Did it connect to other rooms? I don't know. I didn't check. So because of the placement of my twin bed, the office chair couldn't be tilted at the necessary angle because of how tall it was. So I couldn't use that to close the closet door. But then there were two nice little comfy chairs that were by a table, like a side table sort of thing, and so I pulled one of those over there, but it was too short to really do the up underneath the doorknob thing. So then I got the ironing board out of the closet and put that on the ground and set the chair on top of it, and that wasn't enough. So then I opened up the cabinet that had the TV on top of it and the dresser, and there was a shelf in there that I was able to remove, just a wood piece, whatever, and pulled the shelf out and set the chair on that, and that also was not quite enough. So then I pulled off the cushion, and then it was perfect, and I knew that nobody could get out of our closet and into the room, and that was good.
Yeah, and if they tried, then they were real quiet about it.
Yeah.
And let us keep sleeping.
We did not sleep deeply.
Good God, no, we did not. No, I usually, so I will listen to a podcast, as I've said before, as I'm falling asleep, and I was last night, but then usually in the middle of the night, I'll kind of wake up a little bit, and I'll notice that, it's still on, and I'll turn it off and go back to sleep.
That's what we're like with Arrested Development.
Yeah. But last night I kept repositioning it so that it was still in my ear, because I didn't want to hear ghosts.
She did take a melatonin, by the way.
I did. I took 1.5, in fact.
I didn't take any, so that I, would be alert, just in case.
Yeah, so there was not a lot of sleeping done. I woke up at one point frightened because Liz got up to use the bathroom, and I just saw a figure standing there.
Yeah, and then that scared me. So Helen said in a very loud, alert voice, "Liz?" And I was all out of it, but I'd gotten up to pee, but I was still all out of it, and I went, "I am Liz."
I was very concerned when I'd get up in the middle of the night that I was going to see something in the mirror behind me. That
occurred to me at some point when I got up to use the bathroom. It might have been that time or maybe a different time, but I was like so afraid. And I've told you about how I got scared of mirrors for a while anyway, recently.
Recently?
Yeah.
No.
So there's this movie which I haven't even seen, but I've read about it, and it's one of those horror movies by Jordan Peele. I think it's called Nope, but I could be wrong. It's something like that-ish. But there are these mirror versions of people living inside the mirrors, and it sounds really scary.
Creepy, yeah.
And so I just kept thinking that when I'd get up to use the bathroom in the middle of the night, because you walk kind of like if you're walking in my bathroom at home, the mirror's on your right, and I kept picturing that I'd be walking in and I'd be facing forward, and then I would see my reflection in the mirror turn and look at me, and I couldn't get that idea out of my head. And this is for a while. I mean not a long time, but a few days. I was crouching down to kind of crawl past the mirror so I couldn't see in it.
Oh God, that's way creepier.
and then I'd pee, but then I'd have to wash my hands.
Yeah.
And so I'd try to do that stretched all weird so that my reflection wasn't in the mirror, kind of ducking down, kind of off to the side. And so that's what I did last night. I kept worrying about that. And I did not care for it.
I did the opposite, because my fear is that I would look up into the mirror and see something behind me.
Ooh,
and so I
Krychek, for example, as is what happened to Bill Mulder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I kept looking in the mirror the whole time. So that nothing could sneak up on me.
I think that maybe the right thing to do, but maybe this is too creepy.
Just not worry about it.
Oh, no, that wasn't what I was going to say.
Okay.
And then I thought you were going to say, just not wash your hands. But I'm glad that wasn't. No. I was going to say, but now I've already thought of why this is a bad idea. But I was going to say, maybe the right thing to do is to wet and soap up your hands, but then face away from the mirror, directly behind the sink, so that nothing can sneak up on you. But then I thought, no, because then something in the mirror could get out and get you.
Yeah. That's why.
That's why, exactly. Yeah.
So bad night's sleep.
I did want to ask, did you hear an alarm at some point? Not in the middle of the night, I heard a sort of noise, and I suddenly jumped awake, and it could have been in my dream. You were still asleep, I think.
Yeah, that doesn't sound familiar.
Okay.
I don't think so. Unless it was my watch alarm. No, because my watch was dying, but I don't think it made a noise. No, I don't think I heard anything.
No, it was loud, but I was also that might have been in my sleep. I don't know. And then I think it was at 3:30, because I looked at the time, and then I was remembering that I read somewhere once that for what it's worth, midnight isn't the witching hour. 3:30 is the witching hour.
3:30 isn't an hour.
Yeah, maybe 3 to 4. I don't know.
Oh, I've heard. I almost said noon.
Oh my God, it's the witching hour right
now. Midnight to 3 is what I have heard.
So those are the witching hours.
Yes.
And also, what the fuck is a witching hour?
Yeah, I mean,
what does that mean?
It's when the witches are out.
Why am I afraid of the witching hour? What is it?
Yeah.
Is that when you do your witching?
Yeah. Well, they call it the witching hour. I am more familiar with it as a term for right before bed, when kids just go batshit crazy and can't regulate themselves, and there's a lot of screaming and crying, especially when they're babies. So that is.
And so what I know of the witching hour is on the red zone, which is the special thing you can buy a pass for to show they just kind of show the highlights and the exciting bits of NFL games, and it's like on all day on Sundays.
Oh, God.
Quinn really likes it because it's just the action, which I get, because football is mostly walking around.
Yeah.
And so it'll be like, oh, this team's, close to getting a touchdown, we'll go to this game, and then, oh, something cool is happening here, we'll go to that game. But then there's always this part where the hosts talk about, at a certain point in the game, there's like this noise that comes on, and they go, it's the witching hour, where wins become losses and losses become wins. And it's really stupid.
What?
And I don't know. I think it's just the idea that towards the end of the game, oftentimes a team will lose their lead or whatever. But like, I don't know. It's Adam has verified it's stupid.
Okay.
But yeah, that's what I think of. So
yeah, I don't know. I do know. We both agreed this morning that once we could tell it was light out, we slept better.
Much better. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, I just kept waking up and being like, okay, Helen is... Because I was worried you weren't sleeping, but Helen fell asleep while I was on the phone with Adam.
Yes.
And that was good.
And that was the only way that I was able to, because I was like, good. Okay, you're awake. I briefly thought that maybe we should take shifts. Everyone's like, no, that's crazy.
It really had an old hotel feel.
It really did, yeah.
What Helen said yesterday is correct. If a hotel was going to be haunted, it'd be this one.
Yeah. I mean, it really, like, with the kind of opulence and the...
Like, kind of old-timiness.
Yes.
Some of the bathrooms in there had, like, 2 separate taps for hot and cold.
Yes.
Sink.
Yeah. Yeah, it was very, very nice.
Yeah.
Very old.
Yeah. The pillows sucked. Did you hate the pillows?
I just needed more of them.
Yeah, they were too little.
Yeah.
They were too flat.
Yeah.
That annoyed me.
Yeah. Bed was pretty comfortable.
Yeah, the bed was not bad.
Didn't make a difference in how I slept, but...
No, I feel like, that's the other thing, I guess, is although I didn't care for the pillows, they weren't really the limiting factor.
No, they weren't.
Oh, also, I kept, not at night, thank God, but, like, in the evening, multiple times when I would, like, leave the room and come back, luckily, while Helen was still in there, I kept leaving the door kind of open.
Oh, yeah.
And, like, then we'd be going out together, and I'd be like, oh my God, I left it open again. Yeah. And Helen was like, wouldn't it be funny if we're so worried about ghosts, and then a murderer just got in and got us? Like, it'd be hilarious.
I meant it ironically.
Yes.
Like, that would be pretty ironic, though,
It would.
Like,
yeah.
Like, nope, just straight up killed.
The Kawadi stayed plush.
Yes.
So that was good.
As far as we're aware.
Right, or it was discreet about turning into a real Kawadi.
Yes.
And it turned back.
Yes, which we appreciate.
Yes.
Yeah, we thank it for it.
I had a few more details I wanted to fill in our listeners about the Adele Williams crime that were sort of bizarre. That they did a really intense search for the woman in black with the white wig and did not find her and did not find anything. But then about a week later, in a stairwell they had absolutely already checked, they found the gun for that had done the killing. And so that's weird.
Yeah.
And then they also know that, like, there was some woman who was, like, sort of implicated and owned a coat, like a black coat that, like, matched it, and it would have made sense somehow. I can't remember the details, but then they found, oh no, she absolutely has an alibi. So that was, like, one theory. And then it was like, no, now that it can't be her, we have no idea.
Huh.
So, yeah.
I feel like that would point towards maybe an employee having the
access and being able to put the gun back.
Yeah.
I also though wonder, why put the gun back at all?
Yeah.
Like, what's the point of that?
Yeah. And does that seem to be pretty well documented?
That it was the same gun?
Yeah. Well, and that happened.
Yes.
Like that. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. And what was this, like the 40s?
Yes, it was 1944.
Okay. Weird. Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if we said this, but there weren't really great, like, reports of the hauntings there, right? Like, there was nothing saying, like, someone would, like, wake up with something in front of them, right?
Their bed or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, they were just like, it's supposedly haunted. Oh, there was one thing that I saw where someone supposedly saw the lady in red. In a ballroom. That, like, she got a picture of, like, and it's her sitting in a chair. But I saw the picture and I thought, I don't know, that's a bent oval.
Oh.
So, I mean, she said it was very, very clear. And the photo did show something, but not anything that I would look at and think, well, that's a woman in a red dress sitting in a chair.
Yeah.
It looked like, you know, if a woman in a red dress is represented as a whitish oval, and then you imagined her the whitish oval sitting down, it was shaped like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. I mean, I hear that's what they say about ghosts.
They're whitish ovals?
Yeah. Yeah. No, I don't. That's not. Yeah.
I feel like maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. Huh. Weird. Yeah, I like, in the light of day, I feel like, oh man, I'm a little disappointed.
I think we're both disappointed.
Yeah.
At the same time, I don't know.
This morning, when I first woke up, I was not disappointed. This morning, I was very relieved.
Thank God, yeah. Yeah, as soon as I saw light coming through. Oh, yeah, and also at one point in the night, I forgot to tell you, so we had, like, there's 2 windows in our hotel room. We had the blinds shut, but one of the sets of blinds was open a little bit at the bottom. And I was like, oh, there's like a bright light coming in from that strip. And I was like, oh my God, is that meaningful? And I kind of, because I'd been sleeping lightly and I like woke up and saw it. But then I was like, no, I think it's just headlights. Like, I don't think that's anything. But then I was like, how is it headlights? We're on the 3rd floor. So I don't know.
But it was probably just, and it wasn't daylight?
No, it was night. It was nighttime.
Oh.
But it just looked like, I mean, yeah, I mean, there was like, because I was facing the wall. I was facing away from the windows, and I could see like the light there or whatever, because the shadow, because the light like kind of came through onto the wall, the light, like a horizontal strip, and maybe I was like, does that mean something? And then
Michigan
I was like, no.
Was I mean,
yeah, that's probably it. No, it felt just like headlights had gone by slowly or something, like that sort of light, but
like from a UFO, perhaps?
I mean,
or helicopter from the government?
Yeah, but quieter and not at all pulsating or anything weird.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I was very, very relieved, very, very scared, but now in the light of day, I'm like, oh,
like,
man.
Okay, so we went to a hotel,
right?
And we slept poorly.
Yeah.
All right, and we spent
a lot of money.
Amount of money. Yeah.
Yeah. So now I kind of feel like, oh well, we need to stay at the Congress now.
Maybe what we need to do as a step before staying at the Congress is go back to the Drake, but stay on one of the more haunted floors, 8 or 10.
Ooh,
I
sure.
think that might be the next step.
Maybe. Yeah.
And then also when we're very afraid at night, we'll have the memory of last night to draw on to be like,
true.
Hey, we survived this.
That's true.
And now I know how to lock the closet door.
Yeah.
I have a strategy.
Yeah. But the thing, like...
Maybe I'll just bring a folding chair.
Yeah, again, rationally, I feel like, well, nothing could possibly happen, because, like, even if I had, like, you know, the woman who was terrified there at the Congress, like, it's not like people are, like, dying.
No.
It's not like it's, like, it's not what's
like,
gonna happen.
It's not like 50% of their guests die of fright or something.
Yeah. But,
at the same time, we will have to sleep.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes. Or we take shifts. Yeah.
We need like a Scully to bring with us or something.
Yeah,
like,
but do you remember when we went to see...
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Is it Paranormal Activity?
Yes. The first Paranormal Activity. We did a, what do they call it when you see 2 shows?
Oh,
we, like, snuck into a second movie, essentially.
Yeah. Well,
and I can't remember...
What do you call that? God.
I thought there was a term.
There is a term.
And
I can think it's double dip, and that's not what it's called. That's ice cream. I don't know.
I can't remember the first movie we saw, but I know it was like a comedy or maybe something serious, but it was not scary at all. And then we decided to sneak into Paranormal Activity, and we had our friend Amanda with us, who I would say
she's pretty sensible.
Yeah, she's very sensible. And I was, 20, 21? I mean, we were in our 20s.
Yeah, we were in our 20s.
Yeah.
I think...
We were not, 14.
No, I mean... You were in college, I think?
No.
You were out of college?
I was out of college.
Oh, God, really?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Oh, God, okay.
And...
well, we could just look up when Paranormal Activity came out.
Yeah, that's true. It was either... Well, so I know when Zach and I met in winter of 2009, going into 2010, I was 21.
Okay.
And we were texting with each other. I don't know if I've told the story on the podcast or not about the Paranormal Activity thing.
I don't know. I don't remember.
Oh, that we had recently seen it, enough that I had asked him. We were texting back and forth all the time, and I said, "Have you ever seen Paranormal Activity?" And he said, "No, but I've heard something." And I was like, "Wait, what?"
Oh my God! Because he didn't think of the movie title.
Right.
He wanted to know if he'd seen any.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh my God.
So I know it was recently
also,
enough.
Excuse me, what did Zach hear?
Harmonica. So he
What?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I thought we discussed this in our haunted musical instruments episode.
One of two. One of three now. No, I don't think so. Zach heard a haunted harmonica or a ghost harmonica?
Yes. So he lived for a while with his ex-girlfriend in
Was she already his ex?
No.
Oh,
no.
okay.
They were together at the time.
Yeah.
In her grandpa's old house.
Okay.
And her grandpa was by all accounts, a pretty cool guy, and had been in that house forever.
Okay. Oh, he had died though.
And he had died,
okay.
Right? And so
yeah,
Zach
and his
girlfriend at the time moved in, and he would sometimes hear the grandpa had played harmonica, and Zach would sometimes hear at night as he was falling asleep harmonica.
That's kind of delightful,
right? Yeah, it's not super scary or anything. Yeah, so that's what he meant.
Okay. Oh my God, that's hilarious.
But yeah, so it was recently enough.
All right, so I was in my late 20s.
Yeah.
Okay. I pictured myself as 20.
And Amanda was a year older.
Yeah.
And we went to see Paranormal Activity, and we're so terrified. We were staying at our mom's house, and the three of us shared a double bed and had the lights on all night.
It was so scary.
It was so scary.
I think the thing that, now it's a franchise, and it's probably diminishing returns and all that, but I think the thing that scared me so much about Paranormal Activity is that, unlike most haunting type movies, that was a normal sort of boring, charmless house that any one of us could have lived in, or somebody grown up in, or whatever. It was suburban. It was white walls. It was new. It
was kind of the first of its. It was groundbreaking. In a way that that it was It seemed very much like it could be my life.
Yes.
It
absolutely.
seemed, it was not where you're going okay, well, these weird things are happening. Maybe you should move, or maybe you shouldn't do that. It seemed all very reasonable.
Yeah.
And was really terrifying.
I still think about that scene where they have the camera set up and it shows the woman just standing over her husband in bed,
she gets up out of bed and just
stands and stares.
Yes.
And time passes and she's just standing there.
Yeah, that is super creepy.
Yeah.
Or when they put the flour on the floor to see prints of what's walking, and it's like bird feet looking, weird
and you
prints.
See the prints being made, don't you?
Yeah.
And there's nothing there or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh my God,
yeah.
that's so scary.
There's a lot of build up. There's a lot of suspense.
Yeah, I thought it was really, really scary, and well, obviously.
Yeah. Yeah. So so we were in our 20s and slept 3 in a double bed with the lights on, and we had our friend Amanda there, who is more
somewhat reasonable.
Yeah. So I don't know that we need another person.
I don't know if that would help.
I don't know
we
that
just
would
draw
help.
them into our madness.
Yeah. Although I do feel like Adam, your husband Adam, would be.
I don't think could get convinced to be. I don't think I mean, he doesn't watch horror movies, and he does really hate suspenseful things where, like, somebody's, like, looking for somebody, like, they're checking out a house to make sure that there's no one in it, and you can, like, there's gonna be a jump scare, that sort of feeling.
He hates it. Why? Like, because it's scary? Or?
I think so, yeah, because it's startling or whatever.
Well, so
but,
then...
like, but I also think that in real life, he would never, ever worry about that happening.
Yeah.
So...
Yeah. The problem with Zach, sorry that you have to edit this, Zach, is that he is such a deep sleeper that I feel like he would just never know. I could get, like, picked up by a ghost right next to him, and he'd be just kind of annoyed if I tried to wake him up. Like,
really?
Yeah. Like, if I were to be neurotic and, like, I'm scared, and, you know, like, poking at him, he'd just be like, it's fine, and keep sleeping, and, like, I would need someone slightly more neurotic.
Yeah, but you gotta be careful, or suddenly it ends up like me and Mom trying to leave Detroit being terrified that we're gonna drive on a bridge by accident. Yeah.
I feel like generally we handled ourselves pretty well last night.
Yeah, I agree, but I'm also aware of all the things we just said that perhaps tell a different story. But I agree, I feel like it could have been so much worse.
Oh, yeah.
We both went to sleep.
Yeah. Right. Yes. And
we turned the lights out.
Yes. Yeah. It was not like my trip to San Francisco where I called the front desk. No, I thought about it, but I didn't.
Say, we said before that, we talked to the bartender. We asked if he'd seen any ghosts. And then we got the car this morning from valet. We're driving home right now. And when we picked it up, it was like, this is my last chance. And as I was getting in the car, I said, have you seen any ghosts ever? And he went, what? And there was, like, cars coming. And I was like, I'm sorry, never mind. And I just felt like a jerk. So no answers were given.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think this concludes part 1, at least.
Yes.
Once, you recover financially, maybe we can think about
if any listeners want to fund us going to other haunted hotels.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Please, we will take your money.
Oh yeah, so, big time.
There's supposedly a haunted hotel in Galena.
Oh really?
So maybe we'd want to check that out sometime.
Sure. It's probably less expensive than Gold Coast, Chicago.
Probably, yeah. Chicago's, oh my god.
Are there any in Madison?
I don't know. I didn't Google it, but I Googled, like, I think I did haunted hotels near me.
Oh.
At some point. And then so I found the one in Galena.
Okay. Yeah. I guess that's it.
And that concludes it. Thank you for listening, and tell people, and
we'll get back
subscribe.
To the X-Files next week.
So, tell people about our podcast, subscribe, rate us, review us, give us money.
Yeah, give us money to go to another haunted hotel even.
Yeah, or even a non-haunted one.
Yeah, are you someone who we know that's super reasonable, and you want to,
come with us and we'll allow you to pay?
And we'll have one more episode, and then we'll be taking a break for a while.
Take a little summer break while I go to Europe.
And I try to, I don't know, collapse into a puddle in my house after the year that I've had.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then when Helen solidifies and I'm back from Europe, we'll resume our 3rd season.
Yeah.
And there we go.
Yeah, all right.
And you can always find us at wewanttobelievepod.com and at wewanttobelievepod on Instagram. And, of course, also send us your spooky stories. Have you been to the Drake? Have you been to the Congress Plaza Hotel? Have you been to any other haunted hotels? Do you have anything to say about vampires? Or haunted musical instruments? Let us know. Yeah.
Piano, by the way.
It's in her house?
It's in my house. I'm enjoying playing it. Doesn't seem haunted. So
we'll keep you up to date on that. More news as it develops.
Bye.